Welcome to our journey through the fascinating world of behavioral psychology. In this video, we'll explore the influential thinkers who shaped the field and discover how their groundbreaking work continues to impact our understanding of human behavior today. Behavioral psychology, also known as behaviorism, focuses on observable behaviors and the ways they are learned or conditioned. From the early pioneers to modern contributors, each figure brought unique insights that helped form the foundation of this important psychological perspective. Let's begin by setting the stage for the key figures who revolutionized the way we study and interpret behavior. Before diving into individual figures, it's important to understand the roots of behaviorism. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, psychology was dominated by introspection and the study of consciousness. However, a new movement emerged, emphasizing the importance of studying observable actions rather than internal mental states. This shift paved the way for behaviorism to become a dominant force in psychology, focusing on how behaviors are acquired and modified through interaction with the environment. Now, let's meet the pioneers who led this transformation. John B. Watson is often credited as the father of behaviorism. In the early 1900s, Watson challenged the prevailing focus on introspection and championed the idea that psychology should be a science of observable behavior. His famous Little Albert experiment demonstrated how emotional responses could be conditioned in humans, showing that behaviors could be learned through association. Watson's work laid the groundwork for future research and established behaviorism as a major school of thought in psychology. Ivan Pavlov, a Russian physiologist, made a groundbreaking discovery that would become central to behavioral psychology: classical conditioning. Pavlov's experiments with dogs revealed that animals could learn to associate a neutral stimulus, like a bell, with food, eventually responding to the bell alone with salivation. This process, known as classical conditioning, demonstrated how behaviors could be shaped by environmental cues. Pavlov's findings had a profound influence on both psychology and education. Edward Thorndike was another key figure whose work bridged the gap between animal learning and human behavior. He's best known for the law of effect, which states that behaviors followed by satisfying consequences are more likely to be repeated, while those followed by discomfort are less likely. Thorndike's experiments with cats and puzzle boxes provided early evidence for the role of reinforcement in learning, setting the stage for later developments in operant conditioning. E.F. Skinner took behaviorism to new heights with his theory of operant conditioning. Skinner believed that behavior is shaped by its consequences, such as rewards or punishments. Using his famous Skinner box, he demonstrated how animals could be trained to perform specific actions through reinforcement. Skinner's work not only advanced our understanding of learning, but also influenced education, therapy, and even workplace management. His legacy remains central to behavioral psychology today. One of Skinner's major contributions was his detailed analysis of reinforcement schedules. He discovered that the timing and frequency of rewards could dramatically affect how quickly and strongly behaviors were learned. For example, variable schedules, where rewards are given unpredictably, often produce more persistent behaviors than fixed schedules. This insight has been applied in various settings, from education to marketing, showing the practical power of behavioral principle. Clark Hull introduced the drive reduction theory, which proposed that behavior is motivated by the need to reduce internal drives such as hunger or thirst. According to Hull, learning occurs when an action reduces a drive, reinforcing that behavior. His mathematical approach to psychology aimed to create precise models for predicting behavior, influencing both experimental research and the development of learning theories. Edward C. Tolman expanded the boundaries of behaviorism by introducing the concept of cognitive maps. Through his experiments with rats in mazes, Tolman demonstrated that animals could form mental representations of their environment, allowing them to navigate more efficiently. This idea challenged the strict stimulus-response model and paved the way for cognitive psychology, showing that learning involves more than just observable behavior. Albert Bandura revolutionized behavioral psychology with his social learning theory. Bandura argued that people can learn new behaviors by observing others, not just through direct experience. His famous Bobo doll experiments showed that children imitate aggressive actions they see modeled by adults. Bandura's work highlighted the importance of observational learning and introduced concepts like modeling and self-efficacy, bridging the gap between behaviorism and cognitive psychology. Julian Rotter introduced the concept of locus of control, which refers to an individual's belief about the causes of their successes or failures. People with an internal locus of control believe they can influence outcomes through their actions, while those with an external locus attribute outcomes to outside forces. Rotter's work has had a lasting impact on motivation, personality, and educational psychology. John Garcia's research on taste aversion revealed that animals can quickly learn to avoid foods that make them sick, even after just one exposure. This finding challenged the idea that all associations are learned equally and showed that biological factors can influence learning. Garcia's work expanded our understanding of conditioning and highlighted the role of evolution in shaping behavior. Mary Cover Jones is often called the mother of behavior therapy. She developed counter-conditioning techniques to help children overcome fears, demonstrating that unwanted behaviors could be replaced with more desirable responses. Her pioneering work laid the foundation for modern behavioral therapies and showed the practical applications of behavioral principles in clinical settings. Joseph Walp was a South African psychiatrist who developed systematic desensitization, a technique for reducing anxiety and phobias. By gradually exposing individuals to feared stimuli while teaching relaxation techniques, Walp helped patients overcome their fears in a controlled, supportive environment. His work remains a cornerstone of behavioral therapy and is widely used in clinical practice today. Hans Eysenck was a prominent psychologist who advocated for the use of behavior therapy in treating psychological disorders. Eysenck's research emphasized the effectiveness of behavioral techniques compared to traditional psychoanalysis. His work helped legitimize behavioral approaches in mainstream psychology and encouraged further research into evidence-based treatments. Sidney Bijou was instrumental in developing applied behavior analysis, ABA, especially in educational settings. Bijou's work focused on using behavioral principles to improve learning and behavior in children, particularly those with developmental disorders. ABA has since become a widely used and effective approach in special education and therapy for autism spectrum disorders. Donald Baer was a pioneer in the scientific study of applied behavior analysis. He emphasized the importance of using rigorous research methods to evaluate behavioral interventions. Baer's work helped establish ABA as a data-driven, evidence-based field, ensuring that behavioral techniques are both effective and ethical in practice. Montrose Wolfe, Todd Risley, and Donald Baer together outlined the key dimensions of applied behavior analysis. Their framework emphasized the importance of observable, measurable outcomes and the use of experimental methods to evaluate interventions. Their work provided a solid foundation for the continued growth and effectiveness of ABA in various settings. Robert Rescorla, along with Alan Wagner, developed the contingency theory of classical conditioning. Their research showed that learning depends not just on the pairing of stimuli, but on the predictability of the relationship between them. This insight refined our understanding of how associations are formed and highlighted the cognitive aspects of learning within behavioral frameworks. Martin Seligman's research on learned helplessness revealed how repeated exposure to uncontrollable events can lead to passivity and depression. His experiments with animals showed that when individuals believe they have no control over outcomes, they may stop trying to change their situation. Seligman's findings have influenced both clinical psychology and our understanding of motivation and resilience. David Premack introduced the Premack principle, which states that more probable behaviors can reinforce less probable ones. For example, allowing a child to play a favorite game after completing homework uses a preferred activity to reinforce a less preferred one. This principle has practical applications in education, parenting, and therapy, making it a valuable tool for shaping behavior. John Dollard and Neil Miller combined behavioral and psychoanalytic concepts to develop a social learning theory. They emphasized the role of drives, cues, responses, and rewards in learning, and explored how social factors influence behavior. Their integrative approach helped bridge the gap between behaviorism and other psychological theories, enriching our understanding of human learning. Richard Herrnstein formulated the matching law, which describes how organisms allocate their responses among available choices based on the rate of reinforcement. This principle has been used to explain decision-making in animals and humans, providing a quantitative framework for understanding choice behavior in various contexts. Herbert Terrace developed the concept of errorless learning, a teaching method that minimizes mistakes during the learning process. By carefully controlling the learning environment, Terrace showed that learners could acquire new skills more efficiently and with less frustration. This approach has been widely adopted in education and behavioral therapy. Sidney W. Bijou made significant contributions to our understanding of child development through behavioral principles. His research focused on how reinforcement and environmental factors shape the learning and behavior of young children. Bijou's work has had a lasting impact on early childhood education and intervention programs. Fred Keller developed the Personalized System of Instruction (PSI), an innovative teaching method based on behavioral principles. PSI emphasizes self-paced learning, mastery of content, and immediate feedback, allowing students to progress at their own speed. Keller's approach has influenced modern educational practices and online learning platforms. Ogden Lindsley introduced precision teaching, a data-driven approach to education that focuses on measuring and improving student performance. By tracking progress with detailed charts and adjusting instruction accordingly, precision teaching helps ensure that learning is effective and efficient. Lindsley's methods are widely used in special education and skill training. Jack Michael made major contributions to the analysis of verbal behavior, building on Skinner's work. He explored how language and communication can be understood through behavioral principles, influencing both research and practical applications in education and therapy. Michael's insights have helped shape interventions for individuals with communication challenges. Charles Furster collaborated with Skinner to study schedules of reinforcement, investigating how different patterns of rewards affect learning and behavior. Their research provided valuable insights into how behaviors can be maintained or changed over time, influencing both theory and practice in behavioral psychology. Murray Sidman's research focused on avoidance learning, exploring how organisms learn to prevent unpleasant outcomes. His work clarified the distinction between escape and avoidance behaviors and contributed to our understanding of how fear and anxiety can be managed through behavioral interventions. Nathan Azrin developed the concept of token economies, a system in which individuals earn tokens for desired behaviors that can be exchanged for rewards. Token economies have been widely used in schools, hospitals, and correctional facilities to encourage positive behavior and discourage negative actions. Israel Goldiamond contributed to the development of nonlinear analysis in behavioral psychology. He emphasized the complexity of behavior and the need to consider multiple variables and interactions when analyzing and changing behavior. Goldyamin's work has influenced both research and clinical practice, encouraging a more nuanced approach to behavioral interventions. Gerald Patterson developed coercion theory, which examines how negative reinforcement and coercive interactions contribute to the development of antisocial behavior, especially in families. Patterson's research has informed interventions for reducing aggression and improving family dynamics, highlighting the importance of positive reinforcement and communication. Arnold Meichenbaum is a leading figure in the development of cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. He integrated behavioral techniques with cognitive strategies to help individuals change unhelpful thoughts and behaviors. Meichenbaum's work has made CBT one of the most effective and widely used forms of psychotherapy today. Stephen Hayes developed acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, which combines behavioral principles with mindfulness and acceptance strategies. ACT encourages individuals to accept their thoughts and feelings while committing to actions that align with their values. Hayes's approach has expanded the scope of behavioral therapy and is used to treat a wide range of psychological issues. Arsha Linehan created dialectical behavior therapy, DBT, a form of cognitive behavioral therapy designed to help individuals with intense emotions and self-destructive behaviors. DBT combines behavioral change techniques with acceptance and mindfulness practices, offering effective tools for managing emotional distress and improving relationships. Alan Kasdan is known for his work on evidence-based interventions for children and families. He has developed and tested a variety of behavioral treatments for conduct problems, emphasizing the importance of scientific evaluation and practical application. Kasdan's research has improved the effectiveness of behavioral therapies in real-world settings. Ryan Iwata pioneered the use of functional analysis to identify the causes of challenging behaviors, especially in individuals with developmental disabilities. By systematically analyzing the environmental factors that trigger and maintain behaviors, Iwata's methods have led to more effective and individualized interventions. James Holland contributed to the development of programmed instruction, an educational method that uses step-by-step learning and immediate feedback. This approach, based on behavioral principles, allows learners to progress at their own pace and has influenced the design of modern educational technology and online courses. Susan Meinke's research has focused on how fear is learned and transmitted, particularly through observation. Her studies with monkeys demonstrated that fears can be acquired by watching others, highlighting the role of social learning in emotional development. Meinke's work has contributed to our understanding of anxiety disorders and their treatment. Peter Lewinsohn developed behavioral activation, a treatment for depression that encourages individuals to engage in rewarding activities. By increasing positive experiences and reducing avoidance, behavioral activation helps improve mood and motivation. Lewinsohn's approach is widely used in therapy for depression and other mood disorders. John Pierce has made significant contributions to our understanding of associative learning, the process by which connections are formed between stimuli and responses. His research has clarified the mechanisms underlying learning and memory, influencing both theoretical models and practical applications in education and therapy. Robert Kogel developed pivotal response treatment, PRT, an intervention for children with autism that targets key areas of development, such as motivation and social skills. PRT uses naturalistic teaching strategies to promote positive changes in communication and behavior, making it a widely used approach in autism therapy. Robert Epstein's research explores the relationship between creativity and behavior. He has shown that creative problem-solving can be enhanced through behavioral techniques such as shaping and reinforcement. Epstein's work highlights the flexibility of behavioral principles and their application beyond traditional learning and therapy. As we conclude our exploration of key figures in behavioral psychology, it's clear that their contributions have shaped not only the field of psychology but also education, therapy, and everyday life. From foundational theories to innovative therapies, these thinkers have provided us with powerful tools for understanding and changing behavior. Their legacy continues to inspire new generations of psychologists, educators, and practitioners, ensuring that behavioral psychology remains a vital and evolving discipline.